flag. Question coming tonight. It's kind of crowded, but once you do the swearing in and a new firefighter, I'm sure it's then out and replaces that. Here's a few minutes. Cindy, can get a roll call?
Mr. Blanton.
Here.
Mr. Reiniger.
Here.
Mr. Robinson.
Here. You get a motion to approve the expenditures from the payroll for April 20th through May 17th. I'll make a motion to approve this.
I will second.
Mr. Blanton.
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
And that takes us into the swearing in ceremony.
What about the,
Well, I'm sorry. We need to approve the minutes for the April 5th and the 19th meeting. Thank you.
I will make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted by the fiscal officer for April 5th and April 19th, 2023 meetings.
Second.
okay, Mr. Blanton.
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Now we do the swearing in. Clear it out. Rob Street, Assistant Chief.
Good evening, everybody. Rob Chief, for those who don't know me, I see a lot of familiar faces in here. First, I'd like to thank the trustees for giving us the time to be able to do this tonight. It's a nice thing to do for brand new firefighters. And I'd like to thank everybody for showing up here tonight. I know a lot of you are here for the meeting. Looks like a lot more are here for the swearing in. And it's a big part to have firefighters go from part-time to full-time. And so I'm glad everybody can make it. And for those here in the meeting, this is a special event for Mike McGowan, Mitch Rule, and Tyler Rui. And I'm glad you get to witness one of the many traditions that we do in the fire service. We have a lot of traditions that we do, and this is one that, you know, that's kind of special because it lasts a long time. I did mine 20 some odd years ago, I remember that. Yeah. But as we go with fire traditions, I'll list off a couple of things that we do in the fire service. You know, we have a legacy and families of people working. You'll know there's a lot of family members here. And so the firefighter goes there. We use bugles for rank. Our helmets have different colors for rank. We have volunteers. We use last rides for retirees. We have donations. We have station house logos, station house nicknames. And we even have a tradition of mustaches. I know it's weird. But right now, I don't think the three here is actually exercising that tradition, which is good. I don't need to see Mike McGowan have a mustache. I'm not sure the other two can grow a mustache. One of the other traditions that we use is the Maltese cross. And just a brief history on the Maltese cross, it goes all the way back to the Crusades that was used by the Knights of St. John. And they used that symbol to identify each other during battle. Fire was used as a weapon, and through many battles out of necessity, they became firefighters, the Knights did. And they were also known for the care of the sick and injured. And with these actions and many more made, the Maltese cross a badge of honor. There are 8 points to a Maltese cross. And the Maltese cross has taken different meanings from who used it. From the 8 Beatitudes from the Gospel of Mark, to the obligations of the knights and 8 characteristics of a good first aider. And any and all of these sources should inspire them to be reading. The badge should also inspire and invoke duty, courage, bravery, and honor. So when they wear this, they should feel that, you know, that's going there. And firefighting is a proud profession, and only a symbol associated with such virtues can embody the work of a firefighter. And with that, I'd like to introduce the lieutenants that are going to introduce on their own each firefighter. So Travis King, Joe Yanko, and Jack Bonner. So however you guys want to present. Thank you.
Yeah, board, thank you for allowing us to time this evening. Mike McGowan, please move forward. I have the honor to introduce Mike McGowan this evening. Mike is 36 years old. He was born and raised in Delhi Township. Mike is the son of Bob and Mark McGowan. He's also a second generation fireman. Mike joined the fire service in 2011 here at Miami Township. He has also worked at Delhi Township for the past 10 years. And at his service there, he has served as the part-time association president also. In Mike's youth, he was in the Boy Scouts. He was a fire explorer at Delhi. He was an ROTC program at Scarlet's. In 2005, Mike obtained his firefighter level 2 certification through Scarlet Oaks. In 2009, he obtained his EMT, also through Scarlet Oaks. 2015, Mike became an FAO, so he could drive the fire truck. Also in 2015, he completed his fire life safety inspector course. In 2016, he became an ATO, drive the ladder truck. They get bigger as the years go on. In 2017, he became a plans examiner through Corrine Township. In 2019, he completed his fire life safety educator for the state of Ohio. Mike is the brother of Connie, Robbie, and Jeff, the husband of Brittany, proud father of Riley, Skylar, and Noah. In his free time, Mike enjoys riding his motorcycle to be with his family. He also enjoys working around the house. Mike is one of the first guys to pick up a broom and complete a task. I'm proud to work alongside Mike on either one. Mike, I wish you a long, healthy career and safe life, protect the residents of Miami Township. Thank you. We're called to celebrate today. And oath of office. We give the oath here in just a second. That. Don't draw any blood.
Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Evening. My name is Jack Bonner. I'm the lieutenant on Unit 2. Thank you, board, for allowing us to do this. Tyler Rue, we come forward. Tyler is a 19-year-old, born and raised in Delhi Township as well. Tyler is the 5th generation firefighter in his family and 2nd generation here at Miami Township. 2022 was a big year for Tyler. In March of 2022, he obtained his Fire 1 and 2 and his hazmat certifications from Scarlet Oaks. In May of 2022, Tyler completed his EMT certification and obtained his airport rescue firefighter. He graduated at Oak Hills High School also in 2022. Tyler started working at Delhi Township Fire Department in September of 2022. And then started at Miami Township in October of the same year, 2022. 6 months later, now he got full-time here. Wow. Tyler is the son of Steve, Jamie Rui, brother of Grant, Faith, and Will. Tyler enjoys boating, riding side-by-sides with his friends in his free time. He didn't put this in here, but he'll also make pool liners. So if anybody's interested. I've had the pleasure of working with Tyler since he started here at Miami Township. We both worked the same unit today, you two. You could tell that he's a 5th generation firefighter. As we're going through our probationary packet, he just went with it. He didn't really have to do too much explaining with them. He knew right from the get-go what to do. He doesn't mind just getting out there, picking up the broom, washing trucks, doing house tours without being asked or told. He just does it. Steve and Jamie, you should be very proud of your son. He raised a very good young man. We are lucky to have him here at Miami Township. Tyler, welcome to Miami Township. Congratulations on becoming full-time. I wish you a long, successful career here at Miami Township. Sir, your office. Okay, last but not least, I'd like to introduce Mitchell Rules. So I was first introduced to Mitch. He works part-time with my shift on Unit 3 in March of 2022. And I'll tell you a little bit about Mitch in a bit, but in the fire service, a lot of people come and go. And, every once in a while you get somebody that really kind of defines what being in this profession is about. Hardworking, good character, willing to learn, and Mitch has been all this plus some since day one. He'll be a dedicated employee for Miami Township for years to come. I'm definitely proud to have him on board here. A little about Mitch. He's 20 years old, born and raised in Harrison, Ohio, graduated of Harrison High School. He attended Scarlet Oaks in 2021 to complete his firefighter and EMT training. Future goals of wanting to become a paramedic and a fire inspector, along with many other things. Mitch's first firefighter in his family. He has a family history of police officers. So it's finally nice to see somebody score high enough on the test. Mitch's father, Jim, he's an Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy. His mother, Amy, she works for the Justice Center and also the coroner's office part-time. His free time, he likes working out at the gym, going fishing with his friends. You can't say nothing enough good about this guy. So we're definitely lucky to have him. Mitch, welcome aboard. Mike, Mitch, and Tyler come back up real quick. So we're going to present them with their helmets, another tradition we do in the fire service.
When they become full-time, they get a customized shield with their name on it, and things like that, so. Okay, at this point, the mayor is gonna do the swearing in.
Thank you. Appreciate the honor of doing this. I had the honor of interviewing these guys when they went through the process. And, it was tough trying to separate them out. I'm glad they all made it. So you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. I, Michael Allen. Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Ohio. And I will faithfully perform the duties of a firefighter, EMT from Miami Township Fire Department. I will faithfully perform the duties of a firefighter, EMT from Miami Township Fire Department. In and for the County of Hamilton and the State of Ohio. And for the County of Hamilton and the State of Ohio. According to the best of my ability. According to the best of my ability. And in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter enacted. So help me God. With the laws now in effect and hereafter. So help me God. Thank you, guys. Turn sideways.
Thank you again to the trustees for doing this, and also thanks for the residents who are here for the meeting to give us some of your time tonight. I know it's all the meetings you guys are here for, but we are glad you guys can be here for this. And if anybody's here for cake and refreshments, you are free to go. It's over in the bay. If you want to do this, conclude what we're going to do. So, thank you, cake with it.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds good.
Abbreviated. Okay, I'm done. That's very good. For the month of April, we had 34 fire runs, 141 EMS details broken down by district. You have your graphs there to make it easier to see, improving pleasure. In the month of April, you look at our medic staffing, you can see we had a total of 60 12-hour shifts. 50 of those were at least 4 or more. That ones who were out of that. And also, Sunday, we started our new minimum staffing. So now it'll always be, there's always going to be 9 firefighters, a mix of EMT and paramedics, officers, all the time. So So we started from there. The training we did, this time we did cyanide and cyanide kits, training on coincidental and drivers going. We had ladder and pump training and quint operations. We've been hitting the inspections and pre-plans and hydrant pretty heavy for these last 2 months going there. For calendar events, we did have a Easter egg hunt in the Bay, I think that carried in last year. And I also want to say that we have a brand new paramedic. Now he just got through paramedic school and started with a medic for us now, so it's good, it helps us out, and that's a good accomplishment. They've been telling me, he was here, he's not here now, so we'll let you know that technology. Yeah, for that. And you got some more things that's going off on all the work that we've been doing for code enforcement. You can see that on the page there, and our Instagram page on the back, the total reaches and everything. Like I said, on there, a lot of our stuff was going off of our trainings and things like that, but that kind of slowed down. So our page hits would slow down because of that. So trainings can start. And I sent an email for the two of you guys talking about the radios that we needed to talk about. I have Lieutenant King here. He would be the guy that would probably better explain it to you, but what it is, we have to, at some point, we have to do the radios by the end of June of 25. And Lieutenant King found a grant that if we buy them now, and we order them now, would save us just over 16,000. If we don't order them now, we're gonna have to order them at least by the first of the year of January. On there, and I think that grant goes away. Does it go away?
Yeah.
Or something like from June or something like that. Yeah, I mean, so that's something you guys to consider. We can save the money. There's no way to get around. We have to have something to do. I mean, he can explain it to you if you want to explain it to him what's going on with it.
Who's mandating that we have to do the radio?
The state of Ohio. So basically, they had XTS or XTL radios. They came out with APX radios in the last, 10 years or so. Most of these radios we're talking about are probably 20+ years old. Long story short, some people got onto the system that shouldn't have up in northern Ohio. So now they're putting these upgrades in the radios called link layer. And in order to communicate with that, they have to be APX radios. So like you said, we don't have to buy them right now. We just have to have them by June of 2025. The only reason we brought it up is because they had that fire marshal grant that was saving like $1,500 a radio. And we thought we could save that kind of money to buy. We have to buy 12 of them. So
And it is a 6-9 month time.
yeah, it takes about 6 months to get them in. So
And you budget that too.
Yep.
In your,
I was gonna say that, what we're talking about is mobile radios, which would be in our cars. The portables what we carry, that's what we budget. That's mobile is in all the apparatus. So all
so
those.
this wasn't, this wasn't on.
Okay.
It was just
This
something.
wasn't a surprise to us.
These are new because of the state mandated, right?
Right.
So we buy them now, we'll save $16,000. What the cost gonna be?
What was the number? 50 for,
The total number would be approximately 60,000 after the savings. There's no reimbursement. I think the savings just right there on top of that.
Have we did the paperwork on the grant, or is it automatic?
it's automatic.
Get it.
You get, so as soon as we purchase them, we don't pay for it until the radios come in, which could be 6 months from now. But
We just put them in.
yeah, as soon as they're on order, we lock into that price.
How many are we?
is there a deadline?
Well, June 15th is the
For the
deadline
grant.
for the grant.
Tell me what these are again.
The mobile radios that go in the trucks.
They replace the radio. We're not gonna have extra radios in the truck. Should be replaced.
These to replace what we currently have.
Yeah, and they'll tell you how old are the radios we're replacing.
The ones we're replacing are probably 20+ years. I mean, way before my time, but so what?
on
Yeah.
It's at 50 years old.
them. I don't like to have radios.
String and a can.
So what had happened, like, as we buy new units, we would take them out of old ones and put them in new ones. And then they kept, at some point in time, it's nice just to have them, because everything, it's like computers, they only last so long and then they can't be upgraded. So that's kind of where we're at now.
20 years we got money.
Yeah, we'll do. For sure. So we don't, it doesn't have to be done now, it's just, if we can save the money, we'll probably just bring it up, but.
With the state, is this like an annual grant that? Because you said we would be.
It's a one-time buy.
25, we wouldn't need to.
So the guy from Mobilecom told me that they do these grants sometimes, he doesn't ever know when. The current one is called fire marshal pricing, it's from the state of Ohio, so, he said it goes till June. Will they do it again next year? We don't really know, but again, Motorola also increases the radio cost 4% about every 8-9 months, so. I mean, I don't know if they'll do it again next year or not, but that's what it is right now.
Money there, so.
Well, we'll come down to.
This would be it.
I'll say this, we're saving money, we're 20 years old.
We have to do them next year.
And we have to get it forward in the 6-month waiting period. 20-year-old radio is definitely a perfect place. You got any more discussion?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to purchase them now, safely.
I'll second.
Do you have the total price again?
I don't think I have so the total price was approximately 60,000, but I'm not.
It'll be a little less than that.
And who's it through?
Mobilecom.
But it will be mobile.
So it was probably 52 or 53,000. I think the actual for the radios, and then we'll have the install, whatever that happens, which won't be until we get the radios.
Yeah, we can do that.
Keep on keeping growing there.
A little bit. I've been trying. You know, okay.
Someone, you did second. All right. You moved it.
I did.
I'm sorry. Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
and Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
The only other thing is, the local for 906, we're requesting use of station 69 to like a picnic, sponsored picnic for part-timers, full-timers, past employees, you guys, everything else. And since it was local, then you get permission to be able to use the station.
You got the heat paint that
The local.
you know what, we used to have grills outside here.
Yeah.
You guys throw it out here.
Yeah, but that was a township sponsored event. This is the local ones. That's why I was saying. They can have people come and bring our families to whatever they want to do. And, that's it. He requested, I think I forwarded to his email, so. And if we could have a request on to do that.
Safety problem?
My wife?
No.
It all depends on your answer. I guess.
No, I'll say problem all.
Kevin, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Go ahead.
What's going on, and everybody is invited to this. So feel free to come. Well, I had.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Do I got any questions for the fire department?
When you say your minimum staffing down, is that 9? Is that 3 at each station all the time?
Is now it's gonna be 3 at each station all the time, but we actually opened it up to 12. Now we have 12 here, but it's a minimum of 3 at each station plus a district officer.
So you're not gonna drown out a firehouse no matter what?
Now it's up to staff happen, but you can't proceed, but now everything we're running off is having a minimum of 10 people here.
So you'll run first emergencies first
Yeah.
out of your 3 stations.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Police department.
I'll be able to.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Good evening, I'm Lieutenant McElroy for this one here last week. That started as a new district 1 lieutenant. In April, so. So in April, we had 240 runs in Miami Township, 175 of those were dispatch details. 65 of those were self-initiated investigations by the officer. They have a section here for service exchange, which means that 93 times Miami Township cars were requested outside of Miami Township. Of those, 74
actually, Foster did respond. 19 of those were disregarded. They never actually left township before. They were disregarded. Also, at the same time, 100 county cars, 100 incidents of county cars being requested into Miami Township. 61 of those actually responded. 39 of those were disregarded and moved. In April, we had 9 criminal reports taken by officers, 10 non-criminal reports, and 7 auto accident reports. I could get into the breakdown of those if anybody requests, but that's something we can report. We've been questioning.
You see any increase in any type of car break-in or anything, or?
According to the Kia thefts, no, not in our area at least. In general, yes, but not typically around the country. That's.
I do. There you go. I got one. I was ready to do first. I think we're going to.
We didn't Kia them
I got any questions for the police department? Thank you, sir. Thanks. Senior Center, you're in.
Center, April report. These are highlights throughout the month on top of our everyday activities that we have going on. April 6th, James came and gave a very nice program to the seniors on safety. We covered how to use fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, writing an escape plan. It was very nice, very informative. Of course, we had lunch afterwards. So thank you. I appreciate that. And then also I asked them to come later in the month to the center to give a refresher course to our staff at the center on first aid and that baby and some of the maintenance. It's just important, you know, to give these refresher courses in case. So thank you for that. April 15th, senior outing to Playhouse in the Park to see a forest line. April 18th, another senior outing to Cincinnati Observatory. April 21st, our monthly birthday party. We had Three Rivers Healthcare Center scheduled to give a program that unfortunately they canceled. So we need to reschedule that. We have that future date. April 27th, Cindy's class came again, like we do every couple months, to do jobs around the center, which is fantastic. I love when the kids come, they're so cute. So thank you for that, Cindy. That's always a
Thank
pleasure.
you, Carrie and Kim. We do this every Thursday. We go to different places in the township. And these kids have learned so much. And I want to thank you guys. We're coming up tomorrow. They're putting
Oh, are they
the kids to
coming
work.
up here
Yeah,
tomorrow?
we're coming up for our last one. So
Last
thank you.
one.
You guys are wonderful.
Oh, they, you know, these kids come, they already know what they're doing. They come, they
It's
talk to
helping
you,
them,
and
it's
they
helping
can
them.
do your thing, and they're on it. Yeah, so they're great. So I love having them. I do want to say on April 11th, Miami Township's We Thrive team, along with Hamilton County, hosted our first food distribution event. And this event took place in the parking lot at the school. We had tables stocked up with surplus food and personal care items, and they were free for anybody in need. So tables were just piled with unbelievable stuff, fruits, vegetables, canned goods, everything. It was a good event. And anything left over, we donated to local pantries. So it was our first one. We're hosting, or hoping to host another one later on. So it was a very good event. Upcoming June, we're leaving for Washington, D.C. We have over 30 members going. So that's coming up. I've been talking about it for months, but it's almost here now. So we're looking forward to that. I think that's it. That's all I got.
You think we're Senior Center?
Thank you.
Mr. Miller, Maintenance Department.
He was AK.
How good, buddy?
gave you some paper on the generator for a service contract. We still don't have one. We do have a bid from Buckeye Power for a 3-year program for $34.50.
That's gonna take care of all of our firehouse.
Region, which we have one across down now, which is the diesel generator.
Right, with an annual contract of $3,450. So, there's either discussion committee on it, because I'm gonna get ready to make a motion.
Okay, so these are down right now, right? The generators, we don't have.
The generators, this is a service contract, when we not change filters.
They monitor them throughout the year.
With that, we do get a discount if we do not do the calls. They give us a cheaper rate. We haven't had one since all those years. I did not know good. I thought it was really good.
Plan maintenance for 3 years.
This is all the generators.
All three of them. That's
Right. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve it as Buckeye Power Sales for, plan maintenance agreement for 3 years at each year at $3,450.
Second.
All right, Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reitiger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Another is the air conditioner up here. Apparently we have a coil, condenser coil that leaks up there. And we charged it a couple times. Got a price on repairing it, we got a price for the new one. And one price for repairing it is $46.67. The repair is something they don't recommend because it's a difficult repair. When I heat this condenser up, they're afraid it's gonna leak in other spots. Replacing it is $15,090. And that's replacing the full condenser. That is on this bill. Well, there's more than one air conditioner. But we have one go down. We have one go down in this place. Harry will probably tell you the next meeting, how many rentals she has.
I just talked to Mr. Miller right before the meeting. Not sure where to go with this. It makes sense to, I think, to go ahead and replace it. I don't know if we're comfortable with using mechanical optimizers, who's our main contract that we have, or if we need to get any bids, but in general, I'm supportive of just replacing the, the AC units, so long as Cindy says that it's the road, the budget. Here.
I think
You
replace
would think
it.
it would last longer than 12 years.
And that's what I asked about the life, the average lifespan of.
This thing runs.
You're right, yeah.
Years.
Yeah, you're right.
What kind of lead time are you gonna need on? Because
I didn't ask.
next month, you summer.
Did not ask.
You know, they're in good.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and
I think
take
that's
that. Unless
And
there's-
it's 12 weeks lead time. It is on the paper.
Let's see if we can do that on Monday.
It'll be a month.
It's gonna be hot.
I think it's something to go through the change some. And work later on, the Brown recommending about this, I think that's not right.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the replacement at, what was the number,
$15,090.
$90.
And I'll second.
That's for my time.
And that's through mechanical.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reitiger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
What was the replacement cost? What was the amount?
15,090.
90.
Thank you.
Well,
Jimmy's got our AED ordered for our maintenance. We have a case, so that's all taking place. We'll work on the other one, get it in like this. And we did it.
But we don't need.
We got a bid on the batting cage last month. We had to get another one. Almost a black top, because we're getting the walkway into the batting cage. Three Rivers gave us a bid, and Indy gave us a bid for concrete, which
Concrete's on the other side, which will look a lot better than concrete. Concrete is actually cheap.
So that bid is, if this goes into the extra gate we added last year, just to refresh everybody's memory, we only have one gate in the batting cage. So when they enter the batting cages, they have to stop and get down to the other end. So we added the cage for another door, and then we have another sidewalk. So this is the sidewalk that's coming up, walking path to the batting cage.
It was Andy that did it, $3,000.
Yeah, so it's something we need, and there's no discussion. I'll go ahead and make a motion and go ahead forward with the $3,000 even.
For a second.
All right. Mr. Bland,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
and Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mount Nebo firehouse, Carolina Firehouse. We had some leakage in one of the bedrooms up there. We've had it for a while. We actually finally tore the soffit out, got into the gutters and stuff up there. Found out the gutter was having the drainage the wrong way. So wintertime, ice was building up, backing up. That's why we were getting water. So we got a bid of replacing. Well, actually taking that piece of gutter out, just bringing it right off the box straight down. And it was from Eric Schumann. And it was for $2,570. They did not get a second bid. It cost people, did not get no return back. I think this is something that's gonna do away with that water problem.
Discussion. And so what was that proposal?
For replacing the soffit and taking that gutter completely out and building that box back up higher, put a lid on it, so we can't get them leaves back underneath the overhangs. We have a the cost, you said $2,570. Probably replacing 20 feet of salt. Replacing downspout, cutting the downspout out.
It will continue to be a problem.
I don't think it will be, because I never paid attention to the gutter running opposite way. He's the one that got that. When I first put it on that. So it's not got a lot of fall back, but I can see his problem when he's saying it's ice is going up in it in the winter time because of some of the rain. It's freezing in that gutter and backing up into that growth and then it's almost.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead, with Eric Schumann and replace the software at $2,570.
Second.
Mr. Bland,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
You do want to thank the board for hiring me for the time.
Thank you.
Did start Monday. Getting better, working out real well so far. No, it's a new start, but we got young blood in there. So he's a young man and he likes to stay with so it's a good thing.
It's awesome.
Only other question I have, did we take over occupancy of the firehouse?
We had a celebration of an open house, but I don't think we've taken turnkey on it.
Because I was told by Bill,
When did we do it?
I didn't. He said April. I haven't talked to anybody and I haven't heard it, so.
Yeah, I haven't communicated with anyone in quite some time.
Okay.
I don't know, like April, like last month.
I'm guessing that, I wouldn't think last year.
I mean, not to my knowledge.
I mean, he's the one that said it, doesn't get the problem out there.
Yeah, your air conditioner leak out there. They should still be covered.
I would check or something. Bill and see what's going on.
Probably made
Oh,
that.
we signed? With the air conditioning, well, if we have it, we already signed.
Yeah, but we haven't really done any work, we've only done service work on it, but. And I talked to Bill and I talked to the person that put it in. And they said that they would basically charge us the same as mechanic lock would. It's like we got them on a contract, we know what they do in the local, so. I told them to fix it. Yeah,
We don't have a piping hooked up yet for the generator, the diesel.
the fuel tanks that,
The pumping station is there installed, but they're waiting for a chip in that system to allow.
that's a
other
key
than
part.
that's gonna happen. Bill didn't know.
So they have to manually refill the tank now, right?
I don't
Yeah,
think it's-
right now, you can't use the pumping station at all, so they have to, if we need to fill the generator, I mean, the tank, we have to get a company to come in and fill it. We have to do that anyway, we're just talking about transferring it from the tank to the diesel generator. We have the nozzle, and then we can also have the capabilities of, filling our fire apparatus if we need to. But then they're working on a system now to track who uses it and how they know the ID of the person, and that, working on that now as part of something. But I had, talked to Phil about that, and also they, you know, there were some spots in the hallway. Where you come into the main entrance of the parking stuff. Well, they came out, they worked on the inside of the hallway for the bunk rooms on the bathrooms. They did some work there, and they didn't touch out there at the entrance. And the guy said he would have to talk to his boss and then he would get back to us. Well, Phil called me and said, they're done. They're not done. I mean, it's still works. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, the grand opening.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
And they're still there.
Yeah, the last week, I don't remember when we walked through 2, 3, 4 months ago, as far as the punch list.
I don't
They had some things that they were gonna take care of, and I have not heard from anyone since, so maybe we need to.
They'll be talking to them environment, they're saying it's not. Sure, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I'll follow up with Bill, VR, and then we'll try to set up a meeting there, something, make sure we're all on the same page.
And since firemen's all left, I can't really say it to them. With all the things that have been going on here, they're doing a great job. So that's good for me as a resident.
It's also nice to steal,
Yes.
guys from Delhi and Harrison instead of, Delhi and Harrison steal. Poor guy.
Any questions?
Okay, Mr. Hughes, safety.
On the clock, so. Good evening, everybody. First quarter, excellent, again, no injuries before the BWC, which was great. Giving a luncheon, safety luncheon appreciation on June the 8th. At the park. June 8th, 11:30 in the morning. All employees are more than welcome to return, attend, certainly do want to thank them, that's when we do that.
So that's at West Park.
West Park, yes, West Park. Living area out there. And we're gonna have, lunch, a late lunch. Late access to you guys, good. Medic 70 was involved in a near striking, returning from an incident. They were westbound, just past North Bend Road, and here came into nowhere, hit the squad, head on. Quite a bit of damage, to the front of the squad. It's out of service, but our spare squad is in service, so we're not losing any, response to our residents. Squad now is prone for, and, the adjuster, drug testing, but police report, Charlie was notified, all the agencies have been notified, and, waiting out for when the squad will be back in service. So that's all. Nobody, not all people were. Really important. I attended the Hampton Safety Council meeting, which was the last one. We all attended requirements for our 3% discount on workers' comp premiums for the year. Topic this month was heat emergencies. Talked about how to protect our employees under different heat conditions. So it was a good session. I attended also the half-day BWC education seminar in Westchester. That's required because last year we had 2 BWC claims, and we are required to attend that 2-hour session while I was there for the half day. It was a good session. I learned a lot about the grants and that are out there. Ideas I'm not gonna try to save some money. Talk about the pump station, 69. I did a refresher class with the maintenance department senior center on AEDs, first aid CPR. You know, we'll get the first AEDs at the maintenance department, so, and it's a good refresher for everybody, and well attended, and we also, installed an eye wash station down at Station 69. That was taken care of, next one, installing it, but that, the cost of that was, less than $300. So it's in, it's working, you know, we have protection for our guys. It's out in the shop area, of course, to really protect them. We also, have, remember I told you at the last meeting, packs together for the AED units, gloves, one-way towels, whiskey breathing, towels, razor, etc. Should they have to use the AED, well, the packages of all our AEDs down, and they'll be with, the maintenance, and then down a part when we get that. I hope we get it soon, but, there are a lot of good things about having it down, so thank you for doing that. We, we're going to attend an emergency tabletop exercise at school. Rob's asked me to, attend with him and another lieutenant to talk about a disaster that could occur. We don't know what that is yet. LEPC is going to be running it, and we'll have more information, but that's the end of this month. I think it's the last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be attending that to assist me any way I can. I met with, yes, sir.
That's Doug Whitskin and is that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Did you? Okay.
Of that.
Mhm.
My only thing is, and I know some of our events, but make sure that we get the word out because inevitably.
It's
start
just,
seeing all the first
well,
responders.
this is just a tabletop.
Okay.
Yeah, this one will not be a full blown, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. This is just, we're going in, sit down at a table, and we're gonna discuss the scenario. Okay, fire department, what's your role, my brother, please? If we can wake you up, what's your role? Give your roles. You know, so it's a learning experience for everybody. And, so I'll let you know how that goes, but that's what it is, yeah, it's just a tabletop. Met with Tammy Ring, our account executive from our MCO, very interesting meeting. She's a character, but, she really was impressed with Miami Township, the way we're handling injured employees. And every question that she came out with, we're advanced, we're talking to other agencies that we might take our people to, Good Sam Western Ridge. They're aware of our situations, and that's where we try to take the minor incidents there. But she said that, we're almost at zero as far as occurrences. You know, that's pretty amazing, to me to stand up and say that's just about where we are. My goal is zero, you know that, and it's always been zero. Right now, we're at zero today. But she said that looking at, our premiums for 23-24, less than $28,000. For the whole township. That is, see what? It's really, I mean, you know, you don't see a lot going on, but there is, city can tell
We
you.
remember years ago, remember
Huh?
like 150,000.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah. Yes. I do wanna say one before I finish. We have Memorial Day coming up. And there's a parade, please. And you're gonna jump in, but you know, it's a time to reflect on those who allow us to come here to be free, and to live our lives free. And it's a time that we can, you know, honor them for the sacrifices that they made for this country. And, Dan and I, we marching in the parade.
This is our 101st.
I'm sorry.
This is our 101st year.
Now, yeah.
101st year.
Yeah. So if you're all welcome to come out and join us. And again, and I'll reiterate what Ronnie said, working with the firemen and getting the manpower numbers up, we are doing an excellent job protecting the residents behind the township and their three buildings. We really are. Hard work. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Ms. Rivers, Reynolds.
Good evening. We had 20 events in the lower level in the community center in the month of April, 3 events in town hall. From January 1st to April 30th, 5,903 guests have been to the community center or lower level. 1,905 of them happened in the month of April. And we've had 600 guests attend town hall from January 1st to April 30th, and 115 of those guests were in the month of April. For 2023, we have 156 events booked so far in the community center and lower level. Total events booked for 2022 was 189 events. So it's looking like we'll probably surpass that for this year. We ordered a few signs, thanks to Ronnie for getting those hung for me. We put a catering entrance sign on the kitchen door, so our caterers aren't knocking on every door back there, including the firehouse. Recycling only above the cans in the back. And we added phone number sign to the community center. We're going to add one to town hall and the lower level. Just if there's an issue with door locks, there's a number that they can call. They'll reach me, so they're not running around and bothering the firemen and calling 90 people in the township trying to get in. This just seemed like a way to simplify it. So my number is on there, and then we can get them in the building quickly. Because everyone's, I mean, the doors are always unlocked. Kim does a great job of unlocking them, but there are errors that happen with that system every once in a while. I have worked with Mike to fill a community calendar for the summer, and it's pretty exciting. June 7th, we have an open house at the community center. We hold those once a month. We had one in April, 18 people attended, 2 contracts were signed. So the next one is June 7th. June 10th, we're doing goat yoga here at the community center. We just opened up registration this morning, and we already have 20 people signed up. So it's going to be very popular.
Who's sponsoring it? Who's been that on?
We're doing it. We're bringing Good Green Earth Farm, and then the residents are paying. It's $15 per person. So all costs are totally covered. It's not costing the township anything to do it.
It's a big.
Yeah. So so there's 5 baby goats, and when you're doing yoga, the baby goats walk around and they may climb on you, they may not. I'm being really serious.
Very, very popular.
It is.
I'll be honest, I got the same exact reaction, but after Ms. Rovers explained it to me, I did a little research. It's just taken off, it's crazy, it's the new fad, and I think that it's fantastic that it shows kind of cutting edge and bringing this kind of.
So the on average, the cost for this in other places is about $25 a person. The township's able to do it for $15 a person. And that covers the cost of the yoga, the cost of an attendant to come in and clean the floor and put the tables back afterwards. And it even covers a rental, like if we were renting it to do it, it covers all of that. So at $15 a person, if we get 30 people per class, it's more than covered. It costs the township nothing. And we are definitely on target to be turning people away for it. I mean, when I came in, I had 2 messages this morning because 3 Rivers sent it out to all their employees. So far this morning, a group of 8 and a group of 7 just from Taylor signed up. And then I had several community members call. So we're up to 23 people signed up so far.
When is this?
It's June 10th, and there's flyers over here on the table for it. It's gonna be fun. We're doing 2 classes, 9 a.m. and 10:30. And just something different, to bring the community up. It is on the website. Sissy put it, is Sissy here now? Sissy has it on the website. I took flyers to all of the businesses in the community and in Cleves today. It goes on the website. I have flyers sitting back here, flyers on the little pamphlet wooden thing out in the lobby, and then a sign as the community comes in. June 23rd, our summer concert series kicks off with the Whammies. That's a really fun 80s band if you haven't seen them, but they're a lot of fun. July 21st, we're doing a movie night, a family movie night, and we're going to be playing Sing 2. And that starts at 8 o'clock. You just need to bring a blanket or a chair, and this is just something fun that the community, the township is doing for our community. August 4th, the second concert with Deviate, and August 22nd, we're doing a Touch a Truck event with police, fire, the maintenance vehicles. Ronnie can't wait. I just told him just right now. Maintenance vehicles, a Brinks truck, a school bus from Three Rivers, the Hoding trolley, just, we're working on a monster truck and a race car. So there'll be lots of things for young and old to have fun. And that's really it for right now. Any questions about anything?
Again, I'd just like to commend Mr. Oakley for taking the initiative to run with some of these ideas, and I think it's fantastic to bring these to our township. And so not only are we continuing some of the traditional events and bands, but we're adding some new life and new energy. So thank you.
You're welcome.
For that.
Mr. Bland, I'll see you at Code Yoga.
Let's sign them up.
That's right.
I was just coming to watch. With the show.
Okay.
Bring your show.
Yeah.
So the goats actually climb on people. I just saw the.
Yeah.
They do.
I swear, I never heard of
You
it.
can do.
Anybody do it in the area? Find the area, do it?
No,
It's all,
today,
I've done it up at West Side Brewery several times. I think I've done it at 13 Below and I've done it with Green Township.
It's gonna be interesting.
it's lots of fun.
Mr. Clark, the park.
Oh, we're getting nothing for the park. So grass is growing fast, running, it's growing, and I know it's growing fast because everybody's growing fast. In 1 or 2 days, I know it's not Sunday, and it's already 3 inches falling. Nothing.
Mike Taylor, IT.
I tell you something real quick. So, I'll talk about the park real quick. The pickleball courts, we're waiting on the contract with the pickleball courts. A small little thing that open the court. So just so everybody's aware, have people email me about it. And been 3 days in a row, it's got to be about 70 or 75. So with all the rain, it's really hard to predict 3 days. So that's the holdup. So we're hoping to get it done by the end of this month.
Mike Taylor, the IT coordinator here from Miami Township. I would like to thank the board for working with me to bring me back in this position. I held this position for about 20 years. Worked for the township, and I had resigned about 5 months ago. Just some issues we worked through. We've got that all sorted out. And again, I just like to thank the board for working with me and bringing me back into the position. I do appreciate it. With that, our most current items we have on the IT agenda is the replacement of a couple of our UPS power systems or battery backups. One being here in this building, it is giving us a charger error, so it will not charge the batteries. We can just go in and replace the batteries, but the charger itself, they tested IMS has given us a quote for that particular unit downstairs at $675.04. So I'm going to recommend that we go ahead and replace that unit. It is, so if the building goes to, we lose power, we know we go on generator backup. That sometimes takes up to a minute to 3 minutes to do the switch over. In that time, if we don't have battery backup, all of our infrastructure goes down, which is the doors, the lights, all the computers, the phones, the internet. And to get all systems back online after that's about a 10 to 15 minute reboot. So I recommend that we keep our UPS in good working order and we get that one replaced. In addition, we down at the new firehouse, originally we were having power issues down there probably back in January. And we found that the generator was left in a test state, and every time it would kick on to do its self-test, it was popping the GPS and the UPS offline, and all of our systems were powered down. We found that the UPS they had down there wasn't sufficient. we found one that we thought was for our building. We installed that and it's working fine, but we found out that the one we found in storage was for Locution, which is the building automation vendor that we're using for the EMS, for the alarms and the lighting system. And, they reached out to Dan Hyatt down the fire department, who's working with all of that. And they would like to have their unit back, and to give them their unit back, we'll need to replace it. And for that, I spoke to Mr. Robinson, and I recommend that we go with the same unit that we're gonna place here in this building. So we'd be looking to purchase 2 of those UPS backups at $675.04 each. I think you have a quote for one, but now with this new update that I just received from Mr. Hyatt at Station 69, we'd like to go ahead and make that for 2 units.
We talked about that, and again, if there's any discussion, open to it, but otherwise, move forward and go accept for both, or 2 at the, I guess, twice. Should have done my math, but it's 675.04 times 2.
13,
Great.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Blanton.
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
The other project that was urgent was, from an IT standpoint, was getting a backup of our EMS data from our previous billing vendor. So I know Joe Yanko's been going through a state audit and he's been recovering a lot of data and sending stuff off to the state. But since January, we switched over to a new billing system. So they gave us till June to pull our data off the old server. Just have to inform everybody that we got that completed today. So that now is housed on Miami Township servers. And it'll be backed up. It's on its own drive. It's secured. Mr. Yanko is going to start reviewing that data at his next shift. And then we'll ensure prior to June that everything looks good. We'll sign off on it and then we can discontinue contact with EOS, which was our former partner. Let's see, the other project I have just several of these that we're looking to get done. Mr. Miller, I will reach out to you for, we're looking to move our utility PC with our security cameras over onto the front counter over here. We'll need some holes drilled in the countertop over there. It's a solid surface maybe. So I can show you that. I'll see you think of that. Mr. Robinson and I talked about reviewing our boardroom here for our sound system. We've had several vendors out looking at just in particular the microphones. The microphones work up to about the second row of seating. And then once we move past that, they will not connect. So we're told they need to be replaced. So we want to look to see what our best option is there to get that tied back in with speaker grid that's in the room and the amplifier back there in the back. So this way that Mr. Robinson and I are working to get something put together. We'll present that a little bit the next meeting.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. We met up here on Monday evening and reviewed it, tested it out. We wanted to have something that was working well for tonight at least. And so thank you to for your efforts in making sure that we have a good optimal system for tonight. But yes, we are going to have to look at long-term solutions. So again, we're communicating well on that. Come back to the board once we have something.
Yeah, we did find out our camera wasn't operable and it was a connector up in the ceiling grid tile that had come loose. It looked to be connected, but when the technician was out to move the tile, we heard the camera chime in back on the laptop. Every time we moved it, disconnected. So we fixed that. It looks solid. For now, we are going to replace the actual dongle that the 2 cables connect to. So that's coming. But we're glad we got that back online. Community center, I still have that as an outstanding project for just what we're going to do back there with the projector, music, Bluetooth capabilities, whatever we're going to do there. So we need to get that on a calendar to revisit that.
I have those invoices for if you want to
Okay,
get together next week.
great. Sounds good. I'll shoot you an email here so we know what your availability is. Cable TV bill consolidation. I went back, started on that just before I left in January. we had converted all of our internet connectivity from Miami Township over to the state purchasing program. And as part of that, they were converting our TV over onto that for cable TV. But the cable TV on the enterprise network does not support our needs. So we're gonna have to go back to a business class service. So and with that, they consolidated our bill, but in doing so, it cut off all of our old residential connections at several other locations. They have since then fixed all but the senior center and the maintenance office. So they currently do not have cable TV, but I'm working to get them consolidated back onto the business thing. So once I get that, I'll have them, Cindy, I think you're listed as the approver on that, but we'll get the thing presented to the board and I'll get approvals to get that new bill put through. The last two things I have, park camera network. The network is in, it's installed, it's operational. I verified it today. I sent the IP and network information over to H&B Systems. So I'm just waiting for Mike Eves to reply back to me with an install date when he can put the cameras on the network. And then Kim will be able to view those cameras for the park for her setup over here.
How many do we have?
6, well, 5 cameras total down there. Okay. And the last thing is our Miami Township website post, which is Civic Plus. They have they are presenting us with an annual increase of 19%, and it's due to the rising cost of security for government secured websites, due to the fact that there's so many people hacking government websites. They haven't increased us more than 3% since we signed the contract with them, probably back in 2018. So this is a pretty large increase overall. They say, well, there's a lengthy email, and I'm going to get a copy of that, but that is coming and it'll be on the June renewal bill. And that's an annual bill that we pay for them to host us as a government entity website.
That was Civic Plus, right?
That's what Civic Plus, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're, yeah, probably should cut that. But, so yeah, just on that, I mean, it would be nice to keep the continuity, and you recommend that we go with that and stick with them as our vendor as opposed to starting from scratch.
Right, and there was only 3 separate entities that were even close that do government only. And all of the other, when I talked to Green Township, I talked to Delhi Township, talked to Springfield Township through our rep that came out. And with them being only government entities, they have more security than all of the other local web hosting companies because they specialize in government only facilities. So they make sure that we're secured from their side. It's not open to any other public hosted websites. It's always government.
And I don't know if we need to make a motion or not, but I'm on board with that.
Yeah, we're redoing it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we do that contract. That starts in June with Civic Plus.
Right, it's,
Like, is the price $4,557?
it has 2 numbers on here.
It goes from 38.58 to 45.57. Is that correct?
45.57 is the,
That's
with the
the-
19, that's the 19% increase. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So we're
Make
going,
a motion.
I do.
Were you gonna say something? Next one. I'll second.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger.
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
that's all the current projects I have, so I'll open up to the board or best of any IT.
Yeah, I do. The intercom system, we need to look at, I should look at. Back in,
PA system
Yeah.
part.
yeah, can we move forward? If you need my help, I'll be glad to help on that. But if we could look at it, and try to give at least, an idea of what it would cost us. I think it would be a great upgrade for the park.
Okay.
Without costing us a lot even.
I did hear something about a new sign for the senior center.
Are we moving to we moved forward, we approved that already. Okay. I get the information, Karen's got information. We met with the vendor, we approved that at our last meeting. And we'll move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd just like to say that we met a week and a half ago and again on Monday night and appreciate your cooperating and working very well. So thanks for coming in and jumping back in.
Yeah, can appreciate you having the confidence to bring me back.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Public, anything for the public?
I do, Jack.
Yes, sir. Come on up.
My name is Tom Wagner. I reside at 2590 Gallia Drive. Here for a really big, it's basically a safety concern. On the west side of Deer Run Lane, the traffic now, since they put that new subdivision up in there, is increased threefold. You can't see around that bend far enough when you're pulling out of your driveway. And what's ended up happening now is that when we're trying to pull out of our driveway on the east side of Deer Run Lane, the cars are coming down so fast that they're about ready to run over the top of you. Then they get angry at you, so they start tailgating you all the way to the bottom of the hill. I don't know if the township can do anything about that, look into possibly putting a speed table in or have somebody sitting over patrolling it. Never see a police officer over there, nothing against the police officer here, but we never see a police officer over in that neighborhood except for Tommy Vang who lives up there.
But when you let us know, which you're letting us know now, we're Timmy, at least something about it. So.
We're just afraid somebody down on that end is gonna get hit because there really wasn't a problem all this time, but a couple years ago, they came in and they redid all the curbs on the road. Well, what they did to move the water down the curbs rather than running the road, they tilted the curbs backwards a little bit more. And it drains the water down now like it should. But the problem is when you go out of your driveway, you have to go out one wheel at a time. You just can't come out. You have to, and by doing that, you have to come out of your driveway much slower than normal. So there's a safety issue, and I just wanted to address with the township if something could be done.
I'm sure the LT.
And just on that same note, I know that we've talked about this in the past with some of the construction, with the trucks and coming down there. Even though they're supposed to be going out. So just something to make your officers aware of that safety. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, sir. Come on up.
Hi, my name's Barry Moreline from 5612 Gum Run Road. Last meeting, we discussed, or I brought it up actually, about the water line on Jordan Road, which I know it's extremely slow process dealing with the city of Cincinnati Water Works. On possibly getting that project moved forward for those residents. I didn't know if you had heard anything from the waterworks in the last month, and if you haven't, have we decided that the township, as our board, move forward in any direction on trying to give these people some sort of water tap in our township that they can get water for their residents? Have we come up with anything with the waterworks?
I've emailed planning new building again, same gentleman I've been dealing with for years, 7, 8 years. It's one of the fixing the water lines, not this one. So he has yet to email me back on that. My last email correspondence I had with him was requesting a meeting with Cincinnati Water Works and Queens to try to move forward with this and get this done. And I think we talked about this at the last meeting. The House is trying to pass a bill this summer about exactly what we're talking about. Queens holding us hostage. I shouldn't say that, use that term, but they're giving us that we don't pay for this, then we're not going to give you the service. If you get paid for this, straightening this water line out, we'll give you the service. We went through this at the last meeting. So that's our big hang up right now. But I need
the county has, and I can't make them, but we need them to partner with us on this as far as the liaison between township and Queens, or township and Cincinnati. That's really the only deal. We committed putting water on the regulator. We did that 4 or 5 years ago. So temporary, as you know, they were complaining about, residents complaining about, Ken Iyer only being up for so long. But the water line that runs by the park that we're tapping into, we still have to get approval from Cleveland to do that. And they're not gonna give us that approval without them getting that water.
So you're telling me that you don't think Cleves will authorize our township to have a water tap for our residents to get potable water?
That's what they relayed to us through the story of our administrative, to the developments. Yeah.
So
We're still trying, and
and the word you used, hostage, was correct. You just didn't want to use it. I mean, that's terrible. That's absolutely positively terrible
Because,
that we are denying our residents water.
well, we're committed not only to give them water, but to give them fire protection, which
I
I
agree
think
with
is just as important as, fresh water, tap water. So it's not a bad issue, and I will tell you, I'm trying my best with it, but we're trying. And I can only make moves fast as they. That's it.
But let me ask you this. We built a $6 or $7 million firehouse. They let you tap there. That's their water. Now, why was it so easy for them to grant us to take water for our new firehouse, but we can't get a small tap to give our residents
So
water?
we already have it.
That is correct. You are correct. We don't have water there. You are absolutely right.
So, but I give you my word, I'm working on it, trying to move forward with it. And at the last, my last email was to Muhammad Islam, because he's the director for So it's the next step with Cleves and Cincinnati wants to them to try to get the county commissioners involved and to try to get this thing going. And like I said, we committed 4 or 5 years ago to get fresh water or fire protection, fresh water to all the rest of the community. We've done that, so maybe another small area.
Yeah, thank you.
Sprinkler squad. Anybody else got public? Yes, sir.
My name is Matt Bonner, Whispering Farms Neighborhood Association. I know last meeting when I was here, there were some, I don't want to call it bids, but something that was going to be unsealed around the end of April that had to do with the slide on Whispering Farms Drive.
There were requests for qualifications.
Okay.
Engineering plans, and we received 3. And we're gonna talk about it tonight. We're gonna talk about executive session and then come out of executive session with among other things and make a decision on those firms we're gonna move forward with.
Okay, and then what's the process after that? Did they submit a cost bid after that?
They submitted a timeline of 3 of them, so if one is going up, it's like 10 to 12 months. Or if you stay, or if you don't stay, I can give you copies of it.
Okay.
The one that the board picks tonight and chooses to move forward with. But we are moving forward with it.
Okay, thank you.
Or I should say, I'm gonna bring it up there too.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anything else for the public? Yes, it's your chance. Mr. Buck, you got anything for it?
No, just listening. back there.
Doing much, but
So on the agenda, we're supposed to be going to executive session with our attorney, he's not here yet, so. We'll move on, and as soon as he comes, we'll break off and go into the executive session. So, you want to start? Mr. Glenn?
I really don't have anything. I was gonna talk about pickleball court, I already had it, we only had 3 issues that we've had. We talked to Mike, addressed the PA system that I have. And that's all I have. And then we're, like I just said, we're gonna go into executive session, we're gonna discuss contracts, with the, Whispering Farm Hill slip. And then we're also going to talk about the MPA that we put out, request for qualifications for the amphitheater down at West Park also that we can discuss. And we're gonna come back out with the record, personnel and some other things, I believe, that we would speak why we're going to be there. But those are the issues I have. That's all I have, sir.
Mike?
Thank you. I passed along to the board. We used to hot off the printer, but we do have our latest edition of the spring Miami Township newsletter. Highlights the senior center on the front as well as the pickleball courts and several of our events coming up in the inside. So take a look at that. Residents should be getting that any day now in the mail, but those are going out to compile. One of those events is our community shred day this Saturday. We're hoping that the weather holds off, but from 9 until noon, we have a partnership with Cincinnati Federal Bank here, and so we're going to hold this shred day right up here in the parking lot, on Saturday. Nuisance, as was pointed out by Mr. Blanton, mowing his lawn every 2 days, and I concur with that. We have a lot of high grass, and 'tis the season. That's just part of what happens here. So I can tell you that I want to thank Ms. Day for all her hard work in picking up the slack when Mr. Reed moved on. But she and I have been communicating on a regular basis. Letters have been going out. Specifically, I've received, and she has received several inquiries about 8454 Bridgetown Road, and we sent that letter out and got confirmation that that the auction site is currently up for bid to be auctioned off, and that the auction site just this afternoon confirmed that they received our letter. We're hoping that they can comply and get that grass down as soon as possible, but we're getting other inquiries. We have a couple of outstanding nuisance issues that we're waiting for Mr. Pastor from the county to get back to us on, but trying to stay on top of that the best we can. But again, everything's blossoming and blooming and growing up fast. We did have an initial meeting with Strategic HR. If you recall, this is the group that the board unanimously supported bringing on to do an analysis and evaluation of our HR here in Miami Township, and that was a good productive meeting. I had no idea that the advisor consultant that they sent out is actually a Miami Township resident. So we just worked through the boards, through the companies, like president and execs, but they sent us, a local representative who's very aware, obviously, of our community. So that's a nice perk to have and benefit. Again, this is going to be a 4 to 6 week process. So if any department heads may get inquiries from this company, just asking so that they can get a better handle on what's going on, but traditionally, how many staff have you had, policy procedures, just all that good stuff. So that was a positive meeting. It was fantastic to see our firefighters honored here today. We also have Police Memorial that is this week, Police Memorial Week. So Going to be going down Fountain Square on Friday to attend that and march to District 1 on Ezra Charles. So always great to support our first responders. I also attended Sergeant David Kruger's golf outing on Saturday. Weather held off for the most part till the very end, but it was great seeing Pat Murray and Ken Kruger and that crew, and they raised a whole boatload of money. It's great to see that thriving event. So obviously they're very involved here. And yeah, I also attended a meeting with Lieutenant Governor John Husted. They're touting all of the economic development throughout the state of Ohio and what's going on specifically with Intel and trying to become less dependent on China. And so I know that these are more macro issues statewide and actually global economy issues, but they're saying that the build out of some of these companies and the need for staffing here in Ohio as a whole. So there's a push, and Cindy may be able to attest to this, but they're trying to push credits specifically with Butler Tech and the Oaks, Great Oaks. And so he is talking about increasing state funding for our kids that don't necessarily want to go on to the 4-year degree and want to look into our trade. So I know that Three Rivers has had a robust, program there. And so I think that that's fantastic. And so, yes, it was a statewide presentation, but it definitely had an impact and connection here to the township. And I think that's all I have right now. I'm sorry. The roundabout. Mr. Beck is here and I appreciate him being there. So we got an email, and that was confusing to you, it was confusing to me as well. The county engineer sent an email, specifically Todd Danbury, and stating and asking whether we wanted to foot the bill for the entire gap for the roundabout under the new estimate, with the idea that future capital improvement projects that the county engineer would be working on would pick up the tab, if this makes sense. To sort of, basically, we're paying the upfront costs of this project, and they would cover costs of future projects. To them, it's better budgetarily because, it's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there for all these road projects or other capital improvement projects, extra turn lanes, whatever it might be. And it would cost us about $2 million up front. I expressed serious reservations about taking on that kind of a cost. They, in the email, it made it sound like they were communicating with us and that this was something that we were maybe entertaining and discussing. I corrected Mr. Danbury on that after talking to Mr. Beck and others and saying that I guess this was a conversation that their staff was having internally, but they realized that this was, an idea or proposal that they were kicking around amongst the engineers, county engineer staff, but that was never communicated to us and that we never expressed any support. But I also promised to bring it up tonight and get a sense from the board, because Todd Danbury told me that while Todd Long came, if you recall, and gave us an update for our request at the last meeting, he did not mention that. That they're saying that again, while the grant wouldn't be until September, if we're going to go back, forego the current grant and go put it back out and apply for the grant in September, that they would like to know basically now and not in July or August. They're looking to either here now or potentially in 2 weeks or something like that. That do we want to negotiate this whole deal that I just brought up, or are we giving back the grant that we currently had under the $1.8 million total project proposal and applying for the grant in September. Because they need to let the Ohio Public Works know what what our board thinks and, what we, and as far as utilities and everything else. So they said they have a lot of moving parts and they're looking to hear something definitive from us.
I think you better hold off committing that kind of money till we know for sure the status of our TIF fund. I know we're supposed to be getting a letter in June. Please, July 1, but before you commit, why don't they pay for it and we'll pay for future projects?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it just doesn't sound like a very good buy.
Well, I agree.
No guarantee, no guarantee the price isn't gonna go up again. The last price I thought was like $4.8 million for the roundabout. And they want us to pay the entire thing. You have a major expense here on this, you gotta have a major expense down at the park. I don't think we ought to commit that kind of money until we got something in hand from this about the TIF that it is gonna go for 15 more years.
In our last meeting, that we were here, when I was with Mike, it was totally stated that 1.8 is changing to basically double that, right close to $4 million. And that the township, according to the old agreement, was 20%, the county was 30%, and the state was 50%. There was absolutely no discussion that we were gonna take on any more than 20%. And the email that we got was stated that Todd Long made this statement. Todd Long wasn't even at that meeting, so I don't know how he could have made that meeting. It just, I think that we need a meeting with Eric Beck and sit down and get this damn thing squared away so we don't get hung to something that we have never totally ever agreed upon. And I'm concerned about the TIF. I can't commit the township to commit to anything until we have that letter and that we have guarantee of the 15-year extension. Because I don't want to see us spending money before we have it.
And I agree with everyone.
They need to right now, I say no. That's what I said.
And that was, I expressed my reservations right off the bat, but I promised that I would bring it up for discussion, but I agree with everyone as far as making sure that the TIF extension has gone through. I also think that it was, so.
There's no way to pay 100%.
Well, so it would be, it wouldn't be 100%, it would be. It would be 50% of $4 million. Correct, so essentially. And if it's no, we don't even need to talk about this anymore, but essentially, the county would still pay 30% of 1.8. The state would still pay 50% of 1.8. So basically what they had previously committed to, and that now with the new the 4.5, with the new, we would cover all that. We would cover our original 20% commitment and all the gaps in between that, with the idea that the county engineer would match that amount, which you get about $2 million over the next, say, 3 or 4 years with different road and capital improvement projects. So they're trying to say, it'll all come out in the wash and we're paying. I'm just telling you what they're saying.
I know.
And then it would just be us paying the bill up front and then again paying it incrementally over the next 3, 4, 5 years.
You can give it a checkbook and just make a draw.
Right.
So we put it out for discussion.
Yeah, so it sounds like everybody's unanimously indicating and that we'll at least say that we're not interested in that deal, and that we can then say that we are going to return the current Ohio Public Works grant money that was under the 1.8. And that because we are the customer, we have to give them direction the engineer is running the project, but we're the customer, we have to indicate to them that please return the funds. And then we can have further discussions as we get closer to September of whether to reapply at the higher amount. Is that everybody on the same page?
Yes.
Okay, I will let them know, and I appreciate everyone's input. That's all I have.
I have some issues, but you want me to wait till we come out of executive session? Cause I got a few things I need to bring up. I think I'll go ahead and go to executive session. Well, it's up here. Makes no difference if you want to get Alex. We can go ahead and get Alex into the executive session. Then I'll bring these up. Got the waste levy and Legion and a couple of other things that you brought up.
Just respond.
So we'll go ahead and, we need to go into an executive session, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22. G number 1, to discuss the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee. Also going to consider contracts.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger?
Yes,
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
there probably will be some decisions made when we come out. of the executive
Go ahead. Roll call, Mr. Blanton?
Here.
Mr. Reiniger?
Here.
Mr. Robinson?
Here.
Okay, since I was up, I'll go ahead and do my report and you can go ahead and do it. We got requests from the Legion again for, we give them $800 each year for flags and for their ceremony of Memorial Day. And you motion to approve this. We've been doing it for as long as I've been here.
Nice, long time.
Are you making a motion? I make a motion, we go ahead and approve the normal amount we send to them out, comes out of the community, the Duke Community Fund.
Yeah.
I will second.
Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger?
Yes,
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
okay, and then, resolution 2023-04, which is, we had that meeting here with the solid waste management plan, they did the plan, we always try to piggyback their plan, and they want us to approve the resolution is, to approve the update. They update it every couple of years and want us to approve the update of the solid waste management plan for Hamilton County. And we just try to piggyback with them, otherwise we have to have our own plan required by Hamilton County. So make a motion, we approve the update, basically it just changed some of the fees.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Blanton?
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Okay. And December 31st, our waste levy expires. And we need to go back out for it. We have a template to send out. We pick up at probably 4,019 houses in Township from Rumpke. And we need to rebid the contract. Rumpke anticipates 2 to 3% increases, which is really good. Initially, they talked about 15% increase, didn't they, Cindy?
Yeah, but I guess I misunderstood.
Yeah, so
For the whole contract, not.
So I talked to Jim Furrier. He said that if you're gonna bid it, it's gonna probably be in the area of 3%. So,
He said 2 to 3.
2 to 3%,
It depends on, right.
on what the base rate is. So,
And I sent you guys an email. The reason I want to move on this is because I can't, we have to go on the levy in November. I need to know, do we need to increase the levy? So I kind of need to know what we're gonna be paying the next 5 years, 4 years. So I can do the numbers. So I know what, because it's a 2-month process to go on the levy. So that's kind of why we need to move on this.
so I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and give Cindy the authority to put this out for a bid.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
and Kim, I'll get with you tomorrow.
And the only other thing I had is that, we can't take it for long. I want to think the board should we should issue, apology to Mr. Taylor. I don't think, I think it's my fault as president of the board. I let this, we made comments last meeting and, should have been out there. It should have been done in executive session to discuss it. And it wasn't, and that's probably my fault. I didn't have control of the meeting. But accusations against Cindy and against Mike Taylor, they've been proven that we did pay it correctly. I've been through 12 audits here. Danny's probably been through 5 now, and Cindy's been through probably 17 or 18. And we've never, ever had a charge that we was paying bills improperly or retaliated any accounting practices. And the fact that, and it may have just been, was concerned about a lot of issues that night. And the proposal he signed was a proposal, it was not a contract obligating the township, it was a proposal. So I would like to apologize to Mike Taylor. And I hope the board feels the same way, and which is, I think there's been a lot of progress since then, a lot of communication that we never had before. And it's probably a good process. There again, it's for Mike, Cindy, I'm sorry. That's it. Something that come. Okay, so I just felt like comments were made from the red statement, and they should have been made in public, and I should have stopped it and asked for an executive session. So I'm not blaming anybody, Mike, except myself. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming if it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, even a couple of people in attendance said, you guys should be talking about this, mentioning the name of it, somebody who's a resident at that time wasn't even an employee. It was just, I was out of line. I should have kept the meeting under control. Just asked to hold it up and go into executive session. So,
Well, I would like to clarify that there weren't accusations. I brought up that there were red flags that were concerns of mine, and those were all proven to be completely accurate. And those red flags that I brought up, and that again, and these, I want to make it very, very clear that Mr. Taylor and I had a very good meeting, and that he described it as a good and productive meeting. Because once we talked it through and could see eye to eye, we understood that there were a lot of things that we were both basing on things we had heard from others second, third hand, and that if we open up those lines of communication and talk face to face and don't rely on things second, third hand. So when you're talking about receipts, I didn't make any accusations against Mr. Taylor. Really, again, this isn't a personal matter. This is a personal for me, and we talked about it. This was a personnel matter, that this was a business thing. And so I will say that employee, because if you really, this isn't personal, so let's take the individual out of it. That employee was an employee and we require employees to attach receipts for reimbursement, and that employee didn't attach receipts. And so since then, the fiscal officer has talked to that employee and has said going forward that employee will attach receipts. So whether, I'm not saying that employee did anything wrong necessarily.
We looked at him as a
I'm not saying-
contractor more than an employee,
But it was a red flag, and whether this was an issue with that employee, whether this is an issue with our fiscal officer, whether this is an issue with our administrator, whether this is an issue with the state and how they do their audits, I don't know. I wasn't pointing fingers or making accusations that there was wrongdoing. I'm pointing out that this was a red flag and something that I felt like this board should have got to the bottom of before bringing that individual back. It's the same thing with the proposals. The proposal was signed in December. It was effective January 31st, which became a contract, and that is the contract that we are currently operating under with IMS, the third party vendor. And so I met with that employee. And again, we had a conversation and he said that it is typical for the board to approve those contracts and that it never came to the board. So he assigned it in December and he said that IMS took that as an acceptable authorization.
A proposal?
Yes.
A proposal's a quote. I think they should have
Correct,
never
but it was,
changed
but it had an effective date. It had an effective date of January 31st, and it went into effect, and that's what they're billing us under. So it is now a contract as of December 31st, or January 31st. So this proposal is really a contract from January 31st going forward into today. And so he admitted and said to me, I shouldn't say admit, he discussed and we talked about it and said that this was always something that went before the board in the past, that it did not come before the board in this instance, and that he does not have an explanation of why IMS decided that to take it as a final contract, but they did, and that's what we're operating under. Again, that's not an accusation against that individual, that employee. Is it wrongdoing by him to sign it? Is it wrongdoing by IMS to accept it? Is it wrongdoing from the board to not have better oversight and understanding of that process? And now that he and I are communicating much better, I don't anticipate that happening again. But again, this was a red flag that I brought up. It wasn't directed towards that individual. And now that he and I talked, we all agree that this wasn't about him and I, and he even used the word twice. He used the word principal. I shouldn't say twice. He used two words, principal and business. And at the conclusion of our meeting, as we're walking out here in the hall, he said that he understands that that I was making my decision and my argument about whether to rehire this individual is a business decision on my principles and my business, experience. And so it was very productive, very good. And he understood and said that he was ready to move on, to drop this, to be done with it. And we had, again, extremely positive interaction ever since. So I don't see why we would apologize for something that was a spirited debate.
Not been brought up in public.
Okay, well,
In the public meeting.
well, and I explained that in my correspondence, where I said that it probably should have come.
Even if people in attendance said it shouldn't have been, we should have stopped it, and we should have. So you're telling me that Mike agrees that he took money improperly then?
No, I didn't think that at all.
It also talked about the invoice for the TV set and other things that same night. So I asked Mike if he took it from.
I have no idea.
You're saying that Cindy shouldn't have paid him for the TV set?
Let's move
I
on,
didn't say
guys.
that at all.
We said we would move on.
Okay. All right. So that's my apology. Like I said, I do apologize to Mike and Cindy. And that's all I have. Dan?
I just got two quick things. We sent out, RFQs for the amphitheater, and I'm gonna make a motion to accept, the RFQ for the amphitheater from Bear and Becker. And I'm gonna make that a motion.
I will second.
That's an RFQ,
Request
Request for qualification.
and that was for the, I'm sorry, for the
The
amphitheater.
amphitheater of West Park. And then we also sent out, Mr. Reed sent out RFQs for Whispering Farm. And out of that, we use my recommendation to the board as geotechnology, which they've done several projects in the past for us. And we've been very happy with that company. And I will make a motion that we use geotechnology for Whispering Farm also.
That you're using for both of those now.
Yes.
And we need a second to approve those.
I should have waited.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, well, we can incorporate it. Are you moving to accept RFQ for the amphitheater? Bear and Becker, RFQ for geotechnology for Whispering Farm.
Correct.
So unless you guys want it separated.
You want to separate it?
I've seen the reason.
Then I'll make a motion, we accept both.
I'll second.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna make a motion.
Wait, two things.
Three, okay.
All right, good.
I'm gonna make, this is my last issue here. I'm gonna make a motion that we're gonna rehire Dan Reeves as our Miami Township Administrator on a temporary basis at same level of pay, part-time, hours until from now to the middle of August. I don't have an exact date on that, but if we can use the 15th, since that's the middle, or 15th or 16th, 31 days. We'll use the 15th.
15 and a half.
So until August 15th.
Are you gonna say up to, because
Up to August
did
15th.
he say?
Yeah.
That with
He
every
might
other
decide,
job
yeah.
and all that stuff, that he might wanna. That's fine, okay.
We can say up to August 15th.
Because he may choose to, you know, for it to be.
So I'll make that motion and we're starting,
Monday?
22nd. Starting Monday, the 22nd.
Here it is. I thought there. Good, so you know that.
Here,
He made the
sign
choice.
that. I need a second on that.
I'll second
Who, Jack?
Yeah.
Mr. Blanton,
Yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
So I have.
Can I ask one question? No.
Dan?
No.
No, pass it, okay.
All right, I mean, did you have more? Yeah.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it has been told to me that Mr. Reiniger, trustee Reiniger, shared the content of the conversation, the executive session on January 18th meeting with that employee we were just talking about, which precipitated him to resign the next day. Did that happen?
I don't recall that. I could have. But we was an executive session on my tour.
We talked about that in executive session, and then
No.
he indicated that after hearing what was shared, that resulted in him submitting his resignation. That further.
It could have. I told him, I may have told him if you wanted to bring somebody in here to look at the IT. But that was long after I was told that he was gonna quit, because the word on the street was that he wasn't supposed to be working, and he was afraid he was gonna be caught working. Diplomat would be upset. And I think you're gonna find that executive session is not privileged information. She can't record it.
I did record it.
I don't mean you, you can record it, you can, it's not, it is public information.
Well, according to our attorney, he said that it is, quote, very inappropriate and extremely problematic to share anything that is in executive session. And that while he would have to do a thorough investigation to figure out whether there was any criminal acts or ethics violations as it relates to a conversation that was shared in executive session, when we went into executive session for personnel and contracts, and this was a personnel matter, that he said that act defeats the purpose of having an executive session if there's not an understanding that you're all respecting the need to keep things confidential, and that therefore it would be appropriate to just have open discussions at the meetings, because if the board is not going to respect the need to keep those conversations confidential, then there's no reason to even have executive sessions.
I thought your email
you put in your email that we're moving forward with this. I thought this
I
was just wrote
and I
that.
was too, and then this was brought up. This was a very positive meeting. We talked about firefighters, we promoted, we were talking about great events and everything
So right
else.
now,
And then,
and I don't understand that when you're the one that initiated the email that you wanted to move forward.
it's that you
Jack
want to.
apologized on the record, and as president of the board, he said, yeah.
Well,
A lawyer just left here, why didn't you use that then? I don't understand that, you should have brought it up then, we could have talked about it.
We could have talked about it,
When he comes to me and talks to me about it, and then I talk to him.
but I thought that's what the whole email was about, and you asked for input, and I thought that's what the email represented. That's what my take on it. And I don't know why we're going through this.
Because the topic was brought up again, and
It was an apology.
From me, I said, we're gonna go in, I didn't say you, I didn't say Dan, I said from me.
well, I just, again, this was an extremely positive meeting up until that point. And this was, again, we're talking about firefighters, we're talking about great events, we're talking about good communication and how everyone is moving forward. And then, we're bringing that, but anyway, I will, conclude my remarks and I will make a motion for, that we adjourn.
I will say,
All right, Mr. Lane,
yes.
Mr. Reiniger,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.